horse in the second last, so I'll be hanging around.
Well, there's some lovely fashions on the field, mate.
Thank you.
Good on you, Jim.
Jim. Brian, I've got Jim here now.
Yes, I'm sure that Jim will be taking a look at everything that's going on here at Flemington today. No doubt very happy that he's got a winner early in the day and running a record there. Number 2, Camargo. Peter Mertens aboard. Second placing to Flying Guy, number 5, Damien Oliver. Third, number 16, Triumph, Aaron Spiteri, in a deceptively close finish. So it was very tight at the end. The numbers 2, 5 and 16 after the running of race 2, the Cadbury Favourites Handicap. Camargo's got the chocolates there. We'll go to the break. You're watching the third day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival of 1998 live and exclusive on Network 10 around Australia. Going through the ritual again after the Cadbury Favourites Handicap. The placings past the post 2, 5 and 16. Camargo defeating Flying Guy and Triumph. And Des Gleeson is about to give us the signal. And it is Weight Right on the second. Brought to you by Maggi Correct Weight. And there are a couple of the youngsters pretty in pink. You look particularly pleased with that shot, Jennifer.
Yes,
why is that?
That's my sister-in-law and my 2 nieces.
Is that right?
Tiffany and Samantha there. The cameraman's found them.
I think Samantha actually had a bit of a lay down before, doing a fairly passable impersonation of her auntie early in the day. Let's check the dividends on race 2, the Cadbury Favourites Handicap. There's the winner, Camargo, with the rug on. So let's see what you've won.
$9.50 and $3 for number 2, Camargo. $3.40 for Flying Guy. $21 the place dividend for Triumph. $41.60 for the Quinella. The trifecta, a big one, $4,252.70, and the race-to-race double, $24.80. And a thrilling finish, a half a head by a half a head, so there was barely a breath between all 3 place getters.
Thank you, Dan. Yes, of course, sponsors so much a part of the Melbourne Cup Carnival, and Cadbury have been great supporters of the VRC and Network 10 in this wonderful week of racing. It's time for the presentation after the Cadbury Favourites Handicap to the horse who did get the chocolates, Camargo. Here's Rob Gaylard.
Yes, thank you very much, Peter. Yes, first of 2 races sponsored here by Cadbury's this afternoon. This is the Cadbury Favourites Handicap and a thrilling win here. Mr. Sally Churnside representing the VRC, but to make the first of 2 presentations today, ladies and gentlemen, the Human Resources Director of Cadbury Schweppes Australia Limited. Would you please welcome Mr. Doug Lovelace?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the VRC Committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Cadbury is delighted to once again be associated with this marvellous spring racing carnival, and I would like to congratulate the VRC on its organisation and the promotion of the Cup Carnival. Cadbury is very pleased to be sponsors of 2 races on Oaks Day, the first being the race that we have just witnessed, the Cadbury Favourites Handicap. And I hope for you punters that favourites continue to come home during the day. The race was keenly contested, and congratulations go to the connections of Camargo, Mr. B. Towson and Dr. A. Mitchell, to the trainer Jim Houlihan, and to the jockey Peter Mertens, who rode a well-judged race. Congratulations. I'd now like to call up Mr. Bernard Townsend to accept the trophy.
And well done to all the connections of Camargo in the Cadbury Favourites Handicap Race 2. And what a great set of colours they are, worn by Peter Mertens. Actually yellow with a hot air balloon. So some imagination shown there, and it was definitely flying at the end, Camargo. And there you see the dividends on Race 2. And there are those colours with the hot air balloon prominent on Peter Mertens' colours. Well, at least it was for a minute there. But yeah, great set of colours. Okay, the next is the third. It's the Emirates Classic. It's the 91st of the series, formerly the Linlithgow Stakes. It's over 1,200 metres at 12.40. The scratching is number 5, Coal Tar. And as we take a look at the selections here, I'm prepared to forgive General Nadim. It's only a small field. It's going to be the smallest field of the carnival, Jim, but I reckon it is going to be one of the most interesting races.
Yes, only 5 running here, and I've got to agree with you, Pete. I think 4 of them do have chances.
Oh, I don't like General Nadim. I don't like old horses with problems.
Well, why? Because he choked down in the race at Moonee Valley.
Well,
He's done it before.
He's 4 years old.
No, but once they get to that age and they start developing wind problems, I don't like to forgive them. Now, he may come up and do it, but I'll be betting against him.
Well,
all right.
he did do it. I think he came out and won the Newmarket, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Earlier
come up.
this.
He has come up short. I'll give you that. $2.10 after that performance at Moonee Valley. But there were excuses because he did choke down, and I think they're using a different type of tongue tie on him
Go
today.
on, take the short odds.
Monopolise 8-1. I'll take the 100-1 you were offering before. Toledo $2.90, Natois $5.40. So look at that. 4 very cramped in the betting, and Mr. Victory is the outsider and entitled to be. You saw our Cadbury favourites. What was your tip, Letzi?
I did like Toledo. Won the Scalacci OK the other day, and I thought Toledo would race very well down here today.
And give us the winner, seeing your potting general.
Well, I think number 4, Natois, is a track specialist, and he really likes the straight, and I'll be prepared to watch him just cart them along there.
And I should get your trifecta, Jen, because a lot of people will be having a trifecta in this race, seeing there's only 5 runners.
Okay, I'll throw Monopolise in for a little bit of value there. He's been racing extremely well. And, oh, well, 3rd, General Nadim. I won't leave him out.
OK, well, I think it's about time we headed down to the mounting yard. What do you reckon?
Can't wait, Peter. It looks fantastic out there.
Richard Friedman, have you got the marquee today?
Now, Marquis been pulled down, Pete. We've had enough of that, I think.
So where are you going to be throughout the afternoon? Keeping an eye on the horses?
Yeah, I'll be doing a bit of that and keeping an eye on the other members.
He'll be folding the marquee up, actually.
Maybe I might be talking to you after the Oaks.
And maybe not.
Okay. And let's see, you're being reunited with old Banch. How's he going, the old bloke?
He's going terrific. You know, he's an animal of a creature of creature of habit.
Yes.
I'm trying to get
That's
it out.
easy for you to say, John.
Yeah, very easy. But Saturday didn't work the first 3 races, and when I went to get on him out there, he was just a lather of sweat because he wanted to go out every time.
Yeah.
He just knows it. He just really knows it, and he'll be out there waiting now. But incidentally, Pete, 21 races have been run, and we haven't interviewed Shane Dye for a winner.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? And a lot of people would have said that he was the jockey of the carnival.
Because I'm always ready.
He's rating so well.
I'm always ready for him because he always tears off, and I've got to chase him pretty quick.
All right, you 3, off to your proper jobs, Jen. We'll take that walk down to the mounting yard. I hope we've managed to find you a winner in the first part of our program. Down in the marquee, where the champagne is no doubt flowing, let's join the beautiful Sandra Sally. Sandy?
Oh, shucks, Pete, you know I've got the worst job in the world. I hate this spring carnival, just hanging out in the marquee and enjoying the celebrities and the champagne. It's a really tough job, but gosh, someone's got to do it. Well, welcome again, of course, to our fabulous coverage of the Melbourne Spring Carnival. We will again be profiling designers, as we have been throughout the week. 2 designers today, one of the rising stars of Melbourne's fashion scene, and of course one of the most established. We'll be featuring throughout the day our 2 fabulous competitions, our Magi Phantom Call competition and our Avengers competition. And from the course, we'll be checking out all the fashions, because this is the day when femininity reigns. And don't forget David Lawrence's fashions on the field. Now, courtesy of our friends from the Hotel Sofitel, here's a postcard of beautiful Victoria and the Great Ocean Road.
Monday.
Welcome back to Network 10's exclusive coverage of the Melbourne Spring Racing Carnival. And of course, this is Oaks Day, as you can see, the day where femininity reigns. They say that it's the ladies' day, but I don't know. There are so many men out here, and I wonder why. I think the odds are in their favour. Now, joining me, of course, is the marketing manager for the VRC, Sue Lloyd-Williams, one of the women I think is largely responsible for the terrific turnout we've had this week so far. Thanks for joining us, Sue.
Thanks, Sandra.
It's been wonderful so far. You must be so thrilled with the crowds and the turnout.
We certainly have. It's been record crowds on each day, and it's just continuing on with today's perfect weather. We're expecting something like 85,000 people, and on a normal working day in Melbourne, that is quite extraordinary.
The weather always plays a key role, but what do you think has been the difference this year? Because, it's the best party in the country, but there's a certain buzz about this year.
There is, yes. There's been enormous publicity, of course, in the lead-up. The international horses, albeit a controversy, have really captured the headlines. But I think the momentum's been gathering right from September, when we started to promote fashion in a very heavy way towards the young market. And there's so many young people out here during this carnival, and I think that's really beginning to work.
When you mention the controversy and the international horses, what's the VRC's view in hindsight now that the big race has been won, and they didn't fare as well?
Well, They ran, in fact, international horses ran from first through to fifth, if you include the New Zealanders. And for us, they certainly brought a lot of publicity. They brought added tourists, of course, and they also helped the international telecast. The Melbourne Cup now goes to 500 million worldwide. So I think there is certainly a very positive side to having the internationals. There'll be debate in respect of the conditions and the entry, and I'm sure that, that'll be sorted out.
So it's great to have you with us, and the success of this carnival, of course, is a great credit to you. 20 years with the Melbourne Cup and the VRC, and congratulations. You've done such a terrific job. It's great to have you with us, as I said, and enjoy the rest of the day. I know it's a little bit hard. You must be weary. I don't know how you're holding up.
Well, yes, it is a long week for us, but it's one we work for all year, and it's such a wonderful product to work with.
OK, Sue, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Sandra.
Well, Tim Webster's out on the course with a special guest.
Sandra, thank you. Yes, an on-course commentator of a slightly different variety. She follows little white balls around, and golfers. Sandra Mackenzie-Wood, hi.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Great. We're busy again in a couple of weeks at La Perouse for the ANZ Tour. Our next one, PGA.
Yes, we do. We have one there, and the following week we're in Queensland as well. And a couple of weeks ago we were in Adelaide and had a fabulous start to the men's ANZ Tour, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, wasn't it great? For professional golf in Australia, this tour is really giving us a stepping stone to the future, isn't it?
Well, it is giving us a stepping stone, and also the fact, I think, this year we've seen the emergence of a group of young players, on top of the guys that we've been hearing about for years. And these young guys have been winning. Alan's been winning German Open, he won, and Stephen Leaney, the Moroccan, and the Dutch Open. It's just going to be a really added a bit more excitement to the year as well with a breed of new player.
Did it surprise you that Peter Thompson picked Greg Turner and Frank Nobilo for the President's Cup?
No, not at all. I think Greg Turner was a certainty, and Frank Nobilo is a fabulous player. He suffered a bit from injury this year, and that may have made people a little bit unsure of him, but I think it's a good decision, and I think we all hope that Robert Allenby may have got in, but then again, he was a long way down the rankings.
Sure, yeah.
And it was just a bit of wishful thinking, but I think, yeah, it's a good team.
All right, quickly, what do you like in the Oaks?
Well, in the Oaks, I think you could nearly trifecta the Freedman stable. I'm going for number 7, Rose of Dane.
Bit hard to go past that trifecta, Sandra, the Freedmans.
Very hard to go past them, Tim. In fact, I'm boxing them in the trifecta this afternoon, so fingers crossed. Well, Tim, it's lunchtime here and there are thousands of people picnicking in the members' car park. But somewhere out there is the master chef, Ian Hewitson, cooking up a storm.
Hi, and thanks for joining me. I've just been talking to the boys on the gate. They reckon this is going to be a big day. And this is one of my favourite. This is Ladies' Day. And actually, I meant to mention the other day, I always wanted to be a jockey. They could never find a horse quite big enough. Thank God I can cook. My jokes aren't too good. Anyway, apart from that, Ladies' Day, something really nice and delicate. And what I'm doing today is a tuna salad. I've just grilled some tuna. It's got a bit of Asian feel to it, and I've just grilled it fairly lightly because I want it rare. It's sort of like the sashimi style thing. And then we will just cube it. You can cook it a bit more if you like. Just careful, it's a bit hot. Doesn't have to be nice and neat, that's all right. Then we just put it into this bowl. Better use my spoon, I think. And we'll add some other flavourings to it, which is quite important. And what I've got here is I've got some capers, just a few, some anchovies, as many as you like, a little bit of chilli. Once again, if you're not a great chilli fan, don't add too much, and some chopped garlic. A little bit of chopped parsley in that, and then a little bit of soy, just a smidgen. Some olive oil, quite a bit of that, and some seasonings. Freshly ground pepper, freshly ground salt. And we'll then just mix that up really well. And then I've just got some whitloaf here, and I'm just going to put it into the end like that. And we'll just then sprinkle the lot with a bit of parsley. And the other advantage about this is it's so easy to eat. Because I'm such a nice fellow, I have decided that I'm going to feed the boys on the gate. They don't get much chance to eat. Dominic, mate, look what I've made for you.
Morning, Ian. How are you? That's
really
fantastic.
Good. Look good?
Look at that. Yeah, that's excellent. Thanks for that. I'm sure the guys on the gate will be happy with it.
Great stuff, mate.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Now, because I've been such a good boy, they've given me the really good stuff today. So, Sandra, I think it's about time for my first class. Hope you have a great Ladies' Day. Cheers.
Thanks, Ian, and I'll be trying to find you for that delicious feast. Well, Lynn Talbot, let's check back in with her. I understand she has a very glamorous guest.
Oh, I do indeed, thank you. Yes, there are very many ladies of style and grace out at Oakstade Flemington, and with me is the current Miss Australia, Sue Ellen Fuller, who is one of our guest judges today, David Lawrence, Fashions on the Field. Do you like what you've seen so far?
Oh, Lynn, so many wonderful choices, and it's so hard just to pick a couple to be in the final.
Now, a very busy and exciting year for the crowned Miss Australia. What's in store for the rest of the year?
Oh, it has, with the closure of the Miss Australia Awards, which is quite sad, but we're just so proud of all that we've done in the last almost 45 years.
Well, that's right. What are your views on the closure of it?
Well, we are a little bit disappointed because the girls now have raised close to $90 million in those 45 years. So for young Australian women, it's a magnificent contribution for, you know, Australians with disabilities. That's been our charity that we've been supporting. And also the next Miss Australia won't get to come along and judge the fashions and enjoy such a beautiful day.
Well, you will have a beautiful day anyway. And what's in store for you after your crowning year?
Well, it finishes in 9 weeks, I worked out this morning. So I'm planning to go into journalism, is what I studied at university. So hopefully they'll have me back at the track and I can interview the jockeys or something next year.
Watch out, let's see. OK, well, hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn. Well, Melbourne Cup's winning horses, of course, we'll be featuring those throughout the week. But we do need to give you a quick reminder of one of our favourite competitions, and that's the Maggi Phantom Call competition. Now, what you need to do, viewers need to pop down to Coles supermarkets and pick up their winning entry form and decide on... Gee whiz, we need to keep those helicopters a bit quiet, don't we? To decide on one of the last 23 Melbourne Cup winning horses later in the day, and each day of the carnival we'll be showing part of the Phantom Call featuring these winners. All you need to do is call 1902 555 955, follow the instructions and leave the name of the winning horse, your name, don't forget, daytime phone number, and the last six digits of the barcode, and you could win a trip for two to America to watch the Kentucky Derby. And for our international viewers, I'm afraid it's open to our Australian audience only. Well, coming up after the break, we'll be taking a look at the runners in the Emirates Classic. That's right here on Network 10's live and exclusive coverage of the Melbourne Spring Racing Carnival. See you soon. Welcome back to Flemington, and as you can see, milliners and fashion designers' hard work absolutely on display. They'll be hoping to win the prize, of course, from David Lawrence's Fashions on the Field. But gee, the women are looking beautiful. The forecast was for clouds clearing and a top of 20. I've got to say, the Bureau didn't get it right today. It is absolutely stunning. Now, I guess one man that stunned the crowd last year was Jimmy Cassidy, the Melbourne Cup winning jockey, and Mark Aston's with him in the mounting yard. And Jimmy, you'll be back on Might and Power on Saturday. We're looking forward to that.
Always great to have a chat to Jim Cassidy. Jim, we're all looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, look, it's always a big day when you ride Might and Power, and something I'm looking forward to too.
How's he going?
I haven't been on him naturally, but I've seen him work. He's come along nice since the Cox Plate, and I've seen him work here. I think it was a Thursday morning breakfast with the Stars, and he looks great.
It's just been a great racing story, hasn't he, worldwide?
He has, and you know, I think he's going to get a few more here Saturday.
What about the Japan Cup? What's the update there?
At this stage, I'm not sure what the decision is. I think they're still tossing around plane arrangements, but I won't make a decision very shortly, I would think anyway.
What about your mount in the Oaks, Rosa Waller?
Yeah,
there you can see the mounting yard. But for all the details on race 3, let's cross to Peter and Jenny. And Peter, Johnny Letts has a special fond memory for this race, doesn't he?
Yes, he certainly does, Sandra. He actually won this race aboard a mighty horse called Scamander going back a few years ago. And what a sprinter he was.
Oh, he was fabulous, that's for sure. But a very small field here, Sandra, and it looks like it's going to be pretty tough to find the winner all the same.
Yeah, it is going to be tough, and it really is going to be one of the good races of the carnival. I think intriguing because of this bloke especially, General Nadim #1, to be ridden by Jim Byrne for Clary Connors. He settled second. He dropped right out at Moonee Valley, but there were excuses for him.
Well, there possibly was, Peter, but remember back in February in the Oakley Plate, he did exactly the same thing, and then after that he came out and won the Newmarket, which is a Group 1 race. So if you can forgive him for his last run, I was just watching him walking around the mounting yard here. He's not the most attractable walker from behind. He just doesn't seem right, but that just might be him. If you want to give him another go, he's there with a chance.
And just quickly, Jen, explain choking down. When they say a horse chokes down, his tongue just obstructs the breathing?
Yes, that can happen, Peter, but I believe that they do have the tongue tie on him again, and they just tried a different one. Rather than the stocking, they use a leather one.
There's Monopolised #2, which has tightened up $1 into $7, and his last couple of runs, he's been flashing home.
He has been racing very well this campaign, and he drops back to the 1,200 metres here. Now, his 1,200 metre record is very good, 14 starts for 5 wins, but he's never raced down the straight here. He will get back in this race, but I think he'll be running on strongly.
Toledo's a big chance, #3.
Yes, ran second to Almansur this time last year and is the Stradbroke winner. Only beaten a short head there by General Nadim in the Newmarket, so got to be a strong chance.
And Natoir goes well up the straight?
Yes, certainly does. Another one with a chance, and he didn't have all that much luck last out at Moonee Valley, kept running into dead ends. He normally likes to lead. He'll give a good sign.
Any hope the bottom one, Mr. Victory?
No, I think it'd be safe to leave Mr. Victory out.
All right, only a field of 5. Mr. Victory round about the $20 mark. They're heading up to the stalls for the first of our features today. It's the 91st running of the Emirates Classic. They'll thunder down the straight 1,200, and we'll be back after this break to watch them right here on Network 10. Damien Oliver heading up to the gates aboard Monopolised in this small but select field prior to the Emirates Classic. 12:40 is the starting time. We're fast approaching that. So now it's time to get the thoughts for the first time today of my old buddy Roy Higgins. Roy, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Pete. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, and what a day we've got.
What a day. Look, it's a magnificent sight, magnificent scenery, and the horses are good also.
Now, we've only got 5 in this, Roy. 4 have got chances. It's a really tough race.
It's an intriguing race. I think, see, everything hinges around, is General Nadim going to put it all together? Absolutely. Or isn't he? He has, as Jenny mentioned, a leather tongue tie on today. I don't know whether that's... He did not even go 600 metres at Moonee Valley. Yeah. That, to me, is a great concern. I can assure you, he looked magnificent in the yard. There's no faults with his condition. I'm going to risk him, though, just the same. I love the look of the 3 here, Toledo. He's done an absolute treat since winning there recently at Caulfield. I put him on for another horse that I think has peaked at the right time in #4, Natoir. This horse loves the straight and looks excellent, and naturally General Nadim is going to go in. But I took the risk. I went 3-4-1.
Roy Higgins there prior to the 3rd, and they're just about set. Betting ringers chock-a-block, and so too are the lawns here at Flemington. It's a wonderful crowd on the 3rd day of the carnival. Dan Malicki and Gary Willits are surveying the scene.
Yes, incredible scene from up here too. It's the crowd. It's getting close to Cup Day looking down here, Peter.
It's a very similar sight, Gary. I can't believe it myself, how many people are here enjoying really perfect conditions. And they're all set to go. Toledo, the favourite with bookmakers. General Nadim still favourite on the tote. And away they go now. Monopolised was slow to begin. Toledo not with a lot of speed early. Natoir and General Nadim, they're the 2 that will go hell for leather early from Mr. Victory. And Toledo, who's going to get a nice trail behind Natoir. They're coming down the grandstand side, and Monopolised last of the 5, but he's keeping in touch today. Probably only about 4 or 5 lengths off the lead. Natoir, the leader. They've got 800 left to go. From General Nadim, who's about a length away on his inside. Toledo's getting beautiful cover. Mr. Victory niggled at running 4th and a length and a half to Monopolised. Coming down onto the course proper now. They've got 500 left to go, and it's Natoir in front of General Nadim. Toledo Monopolised, and Mr. Victory dropped out of it. Natoir just in front of General Nadim. Toledo's a length away behind them. 2.5 lengths to Monopolised under the whip. Natoir, General Nadim together. Toledo's issuing the challenge. Natoir in front of General Nadim. Toledo's after the pair, then Monopolize, who's running on now. Natoir in front, Toledo cutting it down. Monopolize and General Nadim struggling a bit, but Toledo, he kicked away with 100 to go from Monopolize and Natoir. Toledo's well clear. Monopolize second, but Toledo's going to be too good. Toledo drawing away from Monopolize and wins it 3 lengths with his head on his chest. Third in Natoir, fourth General Nadim, and last in Mr. Victory.
Geez, a great sprinter. He just keeps producing all the time. He's won a Stradbroke, won the Scalacci, now come in, won the Emirates Classic. Had a beautiful cover behind Natoir and General Nadim, and the one that got home very well was Monopolize. It was a very good runner, Monopolize. The 1200 might have been just a bit short for him.
And he kept in touch today because he's often a long way behind them, isn't he? But in the run, Gary, would you have wanted to be on any other horse bar Toledo?
Toledo, but have a look at Damien Oliver on the red cap. He's looking for a run outside Jimmy Cassidy, and there's really not a lot of room here when he's gone for this run. And I was watching him. I knew Toledo sort of had the race won, but I was quite keen to see where Damien was either going to switch back and follow Toledo, but he's driven up on here, and it's the nerves of steels here, I can tell you. There wasn't a lot of room here when he's gone for this run. He's just half thinking about it here.
Yeah, well, that's true, yeah.
Look at this. That's what racing and great jockeys is all about. He said, I'm going for it. And
Paddy Payne, he never really had to get desperate on Toledo. No. In fact, very little use of the whip, if at all, Gary, so that makes it even a softer victory. He's won by 3 lengths, but without any desperation, really, from Paddy Payne. It was just more urging.
Yes, now here's this head-on shot here. You see there's not a lot of room there. It's only really half a run, and like he's pushed in there. Now, once you get the head in, the body should follow, you hope. But you don't want to sort of half get in there and then come out, because that's when you clip the other horse's heels.
Now, General Nadim, he faced the breeze as such. He was seemingly under pressure a long way from home, obviously gone at the 300, well below the expectations of General Nadim. Would he have been perhaps different if he had cover instead of facing the breeze like that, Gary?
He may have. Like he sort of came out early and didn't sort of have to, push very hard. So, yeah, I'd say he's just disappointing, really.
OK, Peter, Toledo's only won 6 races, but most of them have been at the elite level. He's trained by Russell Cameron.
And Russell is just accepting the congratulations down here on the mounting yard. 181, that's moving.
Getting along a bit, isn't it, Pete? Yeah, he was very impressive today.
Gee, he was going to win a long way from home too.
Yeah, he had the drop on the leaders and he was always travelling well. Just, he really went line strong with them.
I suppose the race did hinge around General Nadim and whether he was going to bounce back from that run at Moonee Valley. Were you confident you could knock him over?
Well, he had to improve on his last run, and there was a doubt about him. Wasn't a cloud over his head. And this horse is racing extremely well, so it's not over to the fat lady things, is it?
And the great thing about this horse too, as Dan Malicki just mentioned, all of his great runs have been in top quality races.
Yeah, as a young horse, he was a colt. He used to do a few things wrong in that, and I wouldn't be surprised if this horse even gets over a mile and a quarter later on as well. Again, one day I'm going to try him again because he relaxes with you. Take the blinkers off and you go to sleep, so he's got a wonderful pedigree on the dam side.
Gee, if he can run 6 in 181, he'd go a pretty quick mile and a quarter, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I might have to stick to the sprint.
Well done, Russell.
Thanks, mate.
Russell Cameron, the winning trainer. That's a huge performance by that horse, Toledo. 1:08.1, enormous time. And obviously, things are not quite right with the General, unfortunately. He was a beaten horse about the 300-metre mark. So there you go. That's race number 3 over and done with. Toledo strides to the line, and as he does, we'll take a break from Network 10's live and exclusive coverage of the 1998 Melbourne Cup Carnival. Spectacular pictures of fabulous Flemington on the 3rd day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival, coming from the Whitman's lightship high above the hill stand and looking down onto the pack lawns. And look at that background. That's what we wanted to see. A cloudless blue sky in that part. A few clouds floating around, but they're only wispy ones. It is a beautiful day, a perfect day for the Crown VRC Oaks of 1998. And it's a perfect day to be out in the car park and enjoying some of the festivities going on out there. And our man out there today enjoying everything that's going on is Michael Pope.
G'day, Michael Pope here, and I've got my home video to shoot my magnificent day at Flemington Races. Now, you've gone through the traffic, you've finally found a car park, but you've got that enormous walk to the track. No, here at Flemington, courtesy of Melbourne City Toyota, this magnificent 10 shuttle. Oh, Margaret, stop! This is available. Get on, come on board. Hello, ladies. Hello. So we're off to the races? Yes!